Alright you guys, we're back with another video. We are getting updates in real time about the WBD sale. What a time to be alive. Netflix has reportedly won the bidding war, but nothing is finalized yet. What does this mean for James Gunn? What does this mean for Zack Snyder? What does this mean for Paramount? Let's talk about it. Welcome, my name's Zach. Come on in, grab a seat, take a load off. We're talking about the WBD sale, you guys. And if this is your first time to the Super Reel, we're glad to have you, and smash that subscribe button. So we have an article from Deadline. Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery confirm $82.7 billion mega deal that reshapes the industry. Netflix is officially buying Warner Bros. Discovery for a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion. The industry-changing deal will see Netflix paying $27.75 a share for the venerable Hollywood studio, with a total equity value of $72 billion. Netflix will acquire Warner Bros. Studio, including its film and television studios, HBO Max and HBO, subject to regulatory conditions, of which there will be several. The deal will follow after WBD's Global Networks division, Discovery Global, spins out into a new publicly traded company, a move that is now expected to happen in the third quarter of 2026. In their official announcement, Netflix said it expects to maintain Warner Bros. Current operations and build on its strengths, including theatrical releases for film. Netflix added that the acquisition will also allow the company to significantly expand US production capacity. So when I hear maintaining Warner Bros. Current operations, I don't know if that necessarily includes James Gunn, only because his contract has not been renewed, unlike Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy. I really feel like Netflix is alluding to keeping Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdy, maybe even David Zaslav on. I don't know about James Gunn, but who knows? Let's keep reading. The terms of the agreement will see each WBD shareholder receive $23.25 in cash and $4.50 in shares of Netflix common stock for WBD common stock share. And this is a snippet from Cosmic Book News. Netflix may have won the bidding war for Warner Bros. Discovery, but the deal is far from guaranteed. Exclusive talks don't mean the deal will be finalized. They could always collapse. The talk also don't equal regulatory approval, and there are already major signs Netflix faces a long, difficult path, reportedly years to come. Paramount, despite losing this round, shouldn't be counted out, and Netflix doesn't have President Trump on its side. Now back to Deadline. The regulatory road. Netflix banking on overcoming the Trump factor in the Warner Bros. Deal. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos told investors on Friday that he was highly confident in the regulatory process, win approval of the streaming giant's proposed purchase of Warner Bros., but there are plenty of hurdles ahead. First and foremost, given all the publicity surrounding Warner Bros. Discovery auction, is the Donald Trump factor, and how his administration ultimately handles its review of the transaction. In the hours since it was announced, Trump has not yet weighed in, and the White House has said little. It declined to comment on reports that David Ellison, CEO of rival bidder Paramount, met with administration officials on Wednesday, while there also has been speculation that Netflix executives have also held confabs with administration figures. Yeah, so I remember hearing this a couple days ago about Paramount going to DC and even Netflix going to DC. I guess trying to pick everyone's head, kind of see where the regulation's gonna go, trying to see how people are gonna view Paramount taking WBD. On the investor call, Sarandos said the transaction would be pro-consumer, pro-innovation, pro-worker, pro-creator, it's pro-growth. That's pretty common language for any executive pitching regulatory prospects. The New Street researchers Blair Levin wrote in a research note on Friday that the Trump Department of Justice is more likely than not to challenge the deal. But there are steps that Netflix could take, what he calls the Trump transaction tax, to boost its chances of getting the deal approved. Levin wrote that he would guess that Netflix offered price guarantee, that those subscribing to both Netflix and HBO Max could have a price cut. Netflix executives on Friday alluded to the possibilities of a bundle of the two streaming services. Levin also suggested that Netflix would benefit from pledges to produce series in the United States, another issue that has been on the mind of the president. Netflix is likely to make the case that it would have a positive impact on consumers, the latter being a key element of antitrust scrutiny. Based on data of Nielsen engagement share, Greenfield's analysis showed that adding just HBO to either NBC Universal or Netflix still leads to a company smaller in TV time spent share than Disney standalone today, whereas Paramount, including all of WBD versus just HBO, would actually be the largest single player in TV above YouTube. Yeah, be that as it may, Paramount is still pretty sure that they are like 99% gonna be approved with any regulation. They wouldn't really fall under any monopoly or antitrust litigation. So, you know, we just have to see what happens with all this. Switching back to Cosmic News, a chaotic final round, third round of bidding turned ugly. Paramount accused WBD of abandoning a fair process. Paramount warned Netflix Netflix's offer wouldn't survive regulators. 2 Paramount letters leaked, signaling the company saw the writing on the wall. Paramount had previously tried to shut down rivals with an early $19 a share bid, but had bids rejected 3 times. Paramount could still attempt a hostile takeover pitch to shareholders. Only 20% of longtime WBD shareholders are needed to call a special meeting. Still, as of now, Netflix holds the exclusive negotiating position, the closest any bidder has come to actually acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery. So yeah, Paramount only needs 20% of shareholders, like the WBD shareholders, to come together and agree to a special committee to honestly just tell David Zaslav, hey, we're just going with Paramount now. Basically, my understanding is that pretty much Netflix offered all this money in mostly cash, right? But it's not real money yet. It's still monopoly money, no pun intended, because they haven't passed any regulatory scrutiny yet. They haven't passed any antitrust like lawsuit or anything, and everyone's anticipating something like that. Basically, they have this exclusive negotiation right with WBD, but nothing is finalized, nothing is set in stone. So it's not like they are spending $72 billion right now. It's not even like there's a clear road or pathway to when the shareholders will get those checks. But Paramount, on the other hand, is like, hey, every week, every day this goes on, and every day it looks like there's going to be more of a lawsuit happening or more of a slow process, is a day where we can pitch to the shareholders directly, hey, if you come with us, it's going to be like 6 months and you know you're going to get your checks. We have real money you can spend. It's not like this abstract like theory money. I'm not saying it's theory money. I'm saying like it can easily happen where Netflix has 2 to 3 years of litigation and the final result is that they are violating antitrust law, in which case that money is just gone. You never got that money. WBD, you never got that money. And if that happens, you have to pay Netflix $5 billion because the deal didn't go through because they put that in their contract. Paramount also has a clause like that in their contract, but they are almost like 95% sure that if you go with them, everything's gonna be smooth and the deal won't fall through. But that's basically what Paramount is going to be pitching the shareholders of WBD, is that we are the safe money and Netflix is the risky money that you can maybe never see if the court system is not going their way. But what does this mean for Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse and Henry Cavill as Superman and all of that noise? Back to comic book news, Zack Snyder still holds an edge. Regarding the Snyderverse, the insiders add that Zack Snyder is uniquely positioned in all of this, pointing to Joe Manganiello's hashtagging sell to Netflix as proof of Snyder's camp seeing opportunity. And yeah, if you don't know who Joe Manganiello is, he is the actor who played like Deathstroke for all of like 15 minutes in the Snyderverse stuff. But yeah, basically, if you guys would have told me like a month ago that Netflix was going to win or be like the front runner and they have a solid chance of acquiring WBD, I would have probably told you that that means the Snyderverse is coming back, to be honest with you guys. I mean, it was Netflix themselves who were teasing the Black Adam versus Henry Cavill Superman. That was Netflix, and Zack Snyder liked that post. That was all Netflix doing that. I think Netflix wants to make money, and I think the Snyderverse makes money. I mean, the Man of Steel movie came out in 2013 and grossed more than the most recent Superman movie. The Man of Steel movie made like $670 million in 2013, back when ticket prices were like half the cost, and this new Superman movie made like 616. All I'm saying is I think Netflix wants to make money. They may actually keep James Gunn on. They may run both universes, maybe even 3 universes if you include Matt Reeves' Batman universe. They may run all of those things concurrently. I'm just worried about the theatrical releases. I know they claim they're gonna have theatrical releases, but I am really concerned that they are gonna kind of tarnish the movie industry a little bit. I personally would like to see Paramount get it, but if Netflix keeps it and they bring Henry Cavill back, I'm all the happy for it. But I do want to see movies in theaters. There's something special about going to theaters, and as long as Netflix can fulfill on their promise to put movies in theaters and everything is kind of like the status quo, then I'm okay with it. I just don't know if they're gonna pass the antitrust scrutiny, but who knows? What do you guys think about this? Is this good news for James Gunn? Is this bad news for James Gunn? His contract still isn't renewed, but we know his contract year is 2026, and we'll see what happens with him after that, but we don't know. I will say this, I think there is a solid chance we see Henry Cavill back in a Superman costume at some point. That's what I believe 1000%. So what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've stayed this far, smash that subscribe button. I gotta be better than the last bloke you just watched. This is the best account under 1,000 subs. Click here to binge more of my content. And as always, thank you for inviting me into your home, and thank you for joining me in mine. I'll see you guys in the next video.